All right. What's good, everybody? It is your girl Tika the Shun of all things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. Your girl is flying solo tonight. I had a interview that was scheduled to go at the time that we're chatting right now. However, it has to be it was postponed. In other words, so we'll do that at another time. But I said, okay, why not? Let's just go ahead and dive on in and give everybody this Ruthless recap from Tyler Perry's Ruthless season 4, episode 20, y'all. And the craziness literally all went down on Lord have mercy. It went down, y'all. It went down on Ruthless. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever time you watched it, it went down. Let's see real quick, like who we got in the chat. What up, Sharon Ophir? That's right, Tikadushi is in the building. What up, Queen? Hola, hola, hola. Yes, I love it. Thank you for tapping in. What up, Daria? You're always here, the first one to tap in. You know what? I appreciate you when you tap in first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It doesn't matter. I just appreciate your presence. So thank you to everyone who is tapping in. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the recap from the latest episode of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, also known as Lamb to Slaughter, y'all. And when I tell y'all some people got led and were led to slaughter, yeah, it went down. Listen, my face was like this. It was in the screen. Y'all know I'm a ruthless addict. That's just how it goes down. It is what it always is. So let's go. On the last episode, okay, so I'm trying to give y'all the wrong slide already. Um I don't want to spoil it, but hold on, hold tight, y'all, hold tight. It's here. All right. So why does pig keep popping up? Like, what is going on? Y'all see the pig, right? Well, okay. So I'm not gonna let this defeat me. I promise I'm not gonna let this defeat me. So let's see. Let's see. Come on. Work with your girl. Okay, so what I'm gonna do? Listen, I got the images over here. It's all good. You know, if one thing don't work, another one will. So the last episode we saw where Dikahn walks into that trailer, the punishment trailer, and he sees that, oh my goodness, y'all, he sees that that punishment trailer is empty. So now you know Dikahn is straight pissed right now. So he walks outside and he sees George and he tells George, hey, you, come here. George walks up to him, explains to him that he can help him, what is wrong. Of course, Dikahn doesn't want to reveal any information to George specifically, so he calls for Lewis. And Lewis pulls up, and Dikahn is, he's like, what is going on? The men are missing from this trailer. how in the world could any of this be possible? Like, what in the heck is going on? So George and Lewis are basically reassuring Dikahn that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay because we have bear traps out there. The agent car, the FBI or the government car that was out there in the field, we stripped it clean, so you don't have to worry about anything. There's no tires. There's no brake pads, no nothing on it. So that car can't even move. So we asked the question last week in the Ruthless Roundtable, how did the car get stripped? Well, now we know that Lewis and George were the culprits of stripping that vehicle. So Dikahn tells them basically to go and look for the two that have escaped, which are Malcolm as well as Peter. And so Malcolm, I'm sorry, y'all. George is saying, okay, well, I should go and handle that situation by myself. But of course, Dikahn wants both he and Lewis to go. But Lewis and George know that there's some other plans that's going to take place later. So George says that I'll go, and he should, saying he as in Lewis, should basically check the inside grounds to make sure that he's not, in there running around on the compound somewhere. And so Dikahn agrees to that. Lewis leaves, and then he does this little weird thing to George. Now I like I stated before, George is trying to get in with Dikahn. He's literally doing his best, and I think he has succeeded in getting in good with Dikahn. I don't know where this relationship is gonna lead, but he's definitely doing his best to get in good with Dikahn. And so then, you guys, we get to this image now. Not just last season, but the very first season, we saw this dude. He was the goat dude, and we always called him the goat boy, the goat dude, the goat guy. Well, we got to see a little image of the goat guy. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Just pay attention because the farm that they have is that's going to kick in just in a little bit, just a little bit. So anyway, in the kitchen, Laura walks in and she tells Zane, I cannot find Ruth. And Zane says, okay, well, I'll go find her. You stay here. So basically, she runs out and she sees Ruth. Now we see Ruth is like just, Ruth is gonna do her thing. Ruth is gonna definitely do her thing, but we know that Elder Mother is on her way to talk to the Highest, to let the Highest know that Ruth is doing something that she has no business doing, but she's gonna allow Bridget to tell it all, y'all. So stay tuned. We're gonna come right back to that moment. But we see Ruth and Lacey, or I'm sorry, Ruth and Zane right now at the punishment trailer or at the well. I'm so sorry. They're at the well. And so she's telling her at this moment, I need to find Ruth and just to see, basically to tell her what is going on. So anyway, because Ruth at this moment, we see Ruth, she finally makes her way to this well with Zane. And Zane, Zane has left, but Ruth is still there, and they're talking, and lo and behold, Lacey decides to apologize to Ruth. She apologizes for saying that she was going to tell everything. She said that she was just afraid and she did not know what else to do. So anyway, at this moment, y'all, we see Zane, and Zane's gonna walk up to Lacey as well as Ruth, and she's gonna tell Ruth that Laura is, or not Laura, y'all, that Bridget is on her way with Elder Mother to go talk to the Highest and to go tell him what is going on. So, like I said a little bit earlier, we saw where Zane made her way over to where back over to that well, and Lacey is like, we got to help her. Basically, in a nutshell, these ladies are trying to figure out a way to help Ruth, because Ruth has no plan at this moment. She has no idea what she's going to say to stop Bridget from telling on her and telling about the plan of all of them trying to leave the Rakadushi compound. So Lacey, she pulls a switcheroo on us, y'all. Listen, I ain't never seen somebody run so fast in my life. But Lacey, because of the conversation that she and Ruth had, and that conversation also entailed her letting Lacey know that Elder Mother Marva tried to unalive her by poisoning her, but she gave that sandwich that Elder Mother tried to give her, she gave it to a hog. That's what she told her that she did. So, and then she said that she told the Elder Mother that the hog was unalive. So Lacey's like, oh, so she's on to you. And of course, Lacey's like, yeah. Ruth is like, yeah, she thinks she's on to me. And so I'm watching her, she watching me. Anyway, you guys, to the moment, all I can say is Lacey literally saved the day. I will give her that. Again, this poor little pig had to go to market. That's all I can say, because we see a moment where Lacey is running behind the pig, and she is, if there, I think there's a title of people who actually wrestle hogs. Well, she was definitely the hog wrestler that day. She literally took a hold of this hog, and unfortunately she unalived the hog. But then she ran, and she told Zane to go and tell Elder Mother that the pig is dead, y'all. So Lacey, even though Lacey, yeah, her and Ruth had her moments, this was one time that Lacey literally saved it for Elder Mother. I mean, Elder Mother Ruth now at this point, because they have mutual respect. They're going to work with each other. Ruth is going to, she's gonna save Ruth, and Ruth is gonna save her. So with that being said, y'all, over at the Highest trailer, we see where Elder Mother is trying to, she's trying so badly to get in to see the Highest. She's yelling, she's fussing like, this girl has something to tell, the Highest. And Dikahn is like, well, what is it? What is it that you need? Because the Highest is preparing for the prophecy. Therefore, no one can go in to see the Highest. And Ruth is looking like, look, I told her the same thing, that the Highest is preparing for the prophecy, so no one could go in. So anyway, up lo and behold, after that whole conversation, because Dikahn is like, look, Elder Mother, if she's to be, whatever the situation is, you're just gonna have to wait. So then, thankfully, thankfully, Zane runs up and says, Elder Mother. At first, Elder Mother was trying to stop her from talking, but then she says, Elder Mother, the pig is dead. And then Elder Mother was like, oh, what is what? So anyway, you guys, hold tight, because I have a clip that I want to share with you guys. Just check this moment out. Listen, y'all, they are working Dikah's nerves. And Dikah's like, you can handle this yourself. All this so-called punishment that this person is supposed to be receiving, you can handle this yourself. So Elder Mother she just SOL with trying to get Ruth. There's no way that she's gonna be able to get Ruth. Shout out to my girl EJ the TV Junkie. Thank you for tapping in, girl. I see you. But yeah, there is no way that she could get Ruth in trouble. Because if she does try to get Ruth in trouble, Ruth can say, well, Elder Mother tried to unalive me by giving me a sandwich. The same sandwich unalived the hog, y'all. So anyway, I was here for it. I was absolutely here for the drama. It was all things ruthless. That's all I can say. But I love that moment specifically. So anyway, you guys, then we're at the jail. We're at the jail, and dang, I kind of felt bad for Sheriff Conley, because Sheriff Conley was saying he got cancer, he got diabetes, because Andrew was asking him, how did you even become a part of all of this mess? And he initially says it had something to do with the money, but then he also mentions that he fell in love with his boo bae by the name of Trudy, y'all. Now, I don't know if Trudy was the one that didn't have any teeth that he was in the car with, but the Cheryl Conley has fallen in love with Trudy. He fell in love with that booty, y'all. In other words, he wasn't really in love with her. But he was offered money. He was offered, things that his current job could not provide for him. And so, he took it. But now he and Andrew are in the jail cell contemplating what they should do. What should their next move be? And they're thinking that they should just try to, convince Desiree as well as, the other agents that if they do indeed go to that compound, it's going to get a whole lot of people unalive, especially some children. So for once, Andrew and Sheriff Conley are on the same page. But again, we know that Sheriff Conley was excuse me, y'all. We know that Sheriff Conley was crooked as all outdoors, but we're still undecided as to the fate of Andrew. We really don't know what side Andrew is on. So anyway, y'all, back over at the well, because Ruth had sent Bridget back to the well. She told her to go over to the well because, of course, first Elder Mother wanted to send her to the kitchen, but Ruth like overrid all of that and told her to go over to the well. Well, Zane sees Bridget at the well and she's like, "Get away from us. We don't want you over here." Like Zane is going in on Bridget. Zane is going in. But see, Ruth can't send Bridget to the punishment trailer or anywhere else because that will take away from the plan that she has during the prophecy, y'all. So Bridget is looking over there. I'm sorry, girl. No, we're not taking your apologies right now because you got punished. You were not supposed to say anything about Ruth. However, you tried to go and talk about or tell on Ruth anyway. So with that being said, I just want to say shout out to everybody over there on IG. Thank you guys for tapping in. Moving right along though, as we can see, these ladies they're hugging because the plan that they had, it actually worked. So that means because this plan worked and helped out Ruth, they know for sure that Ruth is going to basically be on their side. So we see the moment where Ruth walks up to the well and she tells Lacey that I'm going to get Elder Mother to leave you alone. I'm going to get you out those chains as well as go to the kitchen, get you something to eat, and you can take off that red robe and put your purple robe back on. Now you are no longer in that whole punishment situation. You saved my life, I'm going to save your life, and I'm going to help you. That's basically what Ruth told her. And of course, Zane was happy about that, and absolutely Lacey was happy about that as well. So let's see what y'all saying in the comments real quick. Oh, thank you, EJ, for letting the folks know. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Definitely, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And thank you, Sharon, for hopping on. I know this is not the usual squad. We're definitely going to do the Ruthless Roundtable, home of your source, your number one source for Ruthless exclusives. We're definitely going to do that next week. I hope make sure you guys tap in. It's going to be Wednesday at 8:15, and Vacay J is going to be the host. So make sure you guys tap in, tap in, tap in. And also feel free to come back and check out the replay. If you miss it, if you come in the middle of it, you want to go back and see what else happened, make sure you tap in and check out that replay, okay? All right, all right. So let's move right along. Get back into it. Get back into it, because I'm not trying to take up y'all whole Thursday night. So for those of you that haven't watched it, y'all can go back and you can go ahead and have an opportunity to watch it. FYI, yes, this live does give you guys spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, you might want to tap out and then come back later, or just stick around with me. I'm just gonna give you the good goods about the show so that you can, understand what is going on Rockadoosh compound. So anyway, you guys, back in the trailer, we see where Joan is. She getting pissy drunk. That's all I can say. She's getting lit because she knows that her demise is on the way. She knows that Dikahn has that hot spot, and he is going to find out that she is not who or she is basically, she has an account with $1 million in it in her name, and she thinks that her time has come. So River is like saying, girl, basically put the alcohol away. I'm gonna help you. I'll see what I can do to try to help you. He has the computer, he has the hotspot. Let me see what I can do. And so River leaves out of the finance trailer. Now we also have a moment where our Aaron, oh my God, Aaron, I love him so much. Y'all don't even know. But we have a moment where he's identifying everybody. He's telling everything that has happened. He's identified Brian and Lynn. He's identified Malcolm. He's identified Andrew. So they're thinking with these federal agents being on the compound, this definitely can be a way for them to, dive in and go in, without waiting for the senator. But then they ask him, can you call your dad back? And he's like, I don't think my dad is going to help because she's on there. I'm not on the compound. She's on the compound, meaning his wife, Laura. And they don't really like his wife, Laura. So they're probably not going to do very much, to help. So, Desiree as well as Cal are trying to figure out what they can do to speed up this process. Again, the strike force is still about an hour away. They keep talking about the strike force is about an hour away. So this hour is literally going to drag. I don't know if this, I think y'all, just to be honest, we may have 1 or 2 more episodes, but this hour that they're waiting on the strike force is definitely going to drag. So be prepared to drag along with everything that's going on Ruthless. So anyway, Aaron is like, well, let me go and talk to, Andrew as well as Sheriff Conley. But Cal is telling him, no, just wait. Let us see what we can do. And you just sit down, you just relax, you just kind of chill. Do you want some coffee? And he's like, not like looking at them like, no, I don't want no dang on coffee. That's his expression. But, anyway, they don't want him to go in there. They don't want to interfere or mess with anything, any kind of investigations or anything that's going on. So they basically, Cal tells him not to go in and talk to Andrew and the sheriff. So then we see where Dikahn, y'all, is out here trying to figure out how to get the pass or try to set up a combination for the safe. Listen, my question is this: why don't they just use the safe that's in the finance trailer? And I'm sure there's another safe in the Highest trailer. Why not just use those two safes? Like, I'm confused as to what's the big deal about this safe. Is it because it's bigger? Is it more high tech? I don't know. But at the end of the day, they'll be better off. Dikahn will be better off at suggesting, hey, let's just use the two safes that we already have. So anyway, River is over there, and Dikahn can't figure out how to get the code. So he goes. Dikahn allows him to go into the computer and do the research. And they basically the researchers saying that they have to send an email verifying with the serial numbers X, Y, and Z. And Dikahn is like, well, I don't have the email, And so River says, well, Joan has the email. You can have her use her email. So anyway, River prepares to give Dikahn the computer back, the laptop back, but he slips and fall. And then the laptop falls on the ground. Now, he did this, we all know he did this on purpose, but Dikahn was like ready to jack him up. As always, but he let him go. But he did this on purpose to try to help Joan out of her situation. Will it work? Has Dikahn already looked that information up? So anyway, you guys, it was a good plan, River. It was a good plan. Let's see if your plan actually worked. So then we see at the jail where even though Aaron was told not to go in there and talk to Andrew, he went in there anyway. Basically, they didn't really say a whole lot because Andrew was like denying everything. He was, they're saying that I'm a Rakadushi cult member. So basically, they're not listening to me. But basically, in a nutshell, everybody needs to try to figure out a way to convince them not to go on the compound because it's going to be World War III if they do. 3, 4, 5, and 6 if they do go on that compound. So anyway, uh, there's a moment that I missed, you guys, where Sheriff Conley has devised his own little plan. He has devised his own little plan, and he calls out and says to the FBI agent that's there, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. There's no toilet in this cell." And the agent is like, "Well, let me go check with Desiree to see if it's okay." And of course, Conley uses mind games. Oh, I have to go to, oh, you have to go to Desiree just for me to go to the bathroom. So anyway, this agent decides that, okay, let me just take you to the bathroom, turn around, let me cuff you up. And he's looking at Andrew as if he has something up his sleeve, but then he escorts him to the restroom. Now I said that I got back to that to say that Conley been gone a long time. So even during the time of having that conversation where Andrew and Aaron have that conversation, Conley is still not in that jail cell. So we're looking to see where Conley is. Has he tried to do a switcheroo? Did he try to do something to the FBI agent to, escape from jail? We don't know what Conley is actually doing. Maybe he's trying to talk to the agent and tell him, listen, I don't think you guys should go on that compound. There's children involved, X, Y, and Z. So we'll see what that conversation is going to be like. They may give us that conversation on the next episode, but I'm tuned in and locked in and ready to see what happens. So anyway, River goes back to Joan. Of course, she was in there drinking, but he tells her, "You're good. I made the computer fall, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. I tore it up. I broke the screen basically. So now, Dikahn can't look to see what's going on." Now she says to him, and then he says to Joan, y'all. By the time he's like that, I'm sorry, y'all. Joan is saying that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And he ends up saying to her, well, it'll work for now, but by the time he does get that information, we'll be basically long gone. So everybody's literally planning to leave on this particular night. We're going to see if some of their plans actually fall through or come through. However, Joan is still so jacked up and drinking that unfortunately she has to go see the highest. Of course, Manny, as they call him, mutilated Manny, he walks in and says, "The highest wants to see you." Now, why is Manny so angry? He's literally yelling at everybody. I guess that's just his demeanor, but he's literally yelling at everyone. So she has to go. She has to basically sober up real quick, like to go and see the highest. And y'all, why? Joan has made her way to see the highest, and the highest says to her, Joan, basically, why were you and Ruth arguing? Like, yeah, she was pretty loud. So I'm sure that everybody on the compound heard her. What up, Jay? Thank you for tapping in. Hey, Alnisa, queen of Ruthless. How have you been? Oh my goodness, it's been a minute since I've seen you. This is one of our Ruthless family members, y'all. Check out Alnisa Chisholm. She was definitely had a lot of roles, a lot of moments in Ruthless. So shout out to you. Thank you for tapping in with me. So then you guys, like I said, Joan is there trying to convince the highest that she and Ruth were not arguing, but the highest is not a fool. He knows what he heard. At first, y'all, I thought his third eye was going to tell him that Joan had took the money, or that she had that money in her name, but basically he wanted to talk to her about why she and Ruth were in a verbal altercation outside. And he was like, I was standing right there listening to you. So, oh my goodness, y'all. One way or another, Joan is about to find herself in some trouble. She tries to look around and say, is there anything you want me to do in here, your highest? Like she was so pitiful. I felt bad for her, but then I didn't because you trying to scam and scheme and get over on everybody, Joan. Like you literally did this to yourself. And even though the highest may not know right now that you attempted to steal that money, he knows you got into it with his bae, also known as Ruth. So you in trouble one way or another. So she's looking like, oh boy, what's about to happen, y'all? Listen, I keep saying this, and I mean it is what it is. Joan has yet to be punished in any season, in any episode. Joan has yet to be punished, but again, I think her time is coming, y'all. So last but not least, on the last moment of this episode, which was episode 20, entitled Lamb to Slaughter, we see where George is out in the woods and he sees Malcolm. Y'all keep in mind, he told Dikahn, or Lewis told Dikahn, that they put bear traps out in the woods by the car. So if anybody tried to, if they weren't paying attention, if they tried to steal that car, they literally would be snapped up, snatched up by a bear, one of those bear chains. Oh my God. And it caught Malcolm on the leg. And the last thing we see, y'all, we have George pointing this blicky at Malcolm, and he's literally begging for his life. And the next thing you know, we hear a pop. I honestly I don't know if this was a real blicky that what he was using, or if this was a a rubber popper. I'm trying to use the words to keep me safe. Um, but either way, he got the blicky pointed at him, and if he is unalive, it's gonna be by the hands of Lewis. We think that I'm sorry, George, y'all. We think that it may be George that unalives Malcolm. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Anyway, you guys, what up, Candy Love? Thank you, girl, for tapping in. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Candy Loves to Talk TV. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments, leave your comments, leave your comments, leave your comments on the replay. And this episode, it was I don't want to say that the episode, I love the episode no matter what. Like anything Ruthless, I love it no matter what. There's nothing nobody can say, good, bad, or indifferent, about Ruthless that's going to keep me from loving Ruthless the way that I do. Call me obsessed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I am obsessed with Ruthless. This episode actually came on this morning. Alnisa, this episode actually came on. So BET Plus is streaming. It's definitely streaming right now on BET Plus. Hopefully BET Plus don't shoot me down for revealing a few spoilers, but I had to come in and give you guys this recap, this new episode 20. Yes, run see it definitely, because everything, the episode is crazy. It's crazy. We didn't get a whole lot of bloodshed, but poor little piggy. And another thing, one last thing, I will say this. Lacey felt so bad about unaliving the pig. But Zane told her, look, we just try to survive. We're just trying to survive. So now she has an ally. I truly believe that Ruth is going to make sure, because they have helped her, she's going to make sure that Zane and Lacey are a part of her runaway plan, y'all, her escape plan. So anyway, you guys, that was it. The end of Ruthless. How, if any of you enjoyed it, let me know how much you enjoyed it. I won't rate it right now. I'm gonna save my rating for the Ruthless Roundtable. Again, that is going to be hosted by the one and only VKJ TV. So make sure you guys are tapped in, tuned in, and ready to rock out. Wednesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to post up on YouTube my schedule for this month. for, or at least for this week, I'll say my schedule for everything that's going on my channel. But again, at the end of the month, I am definitely going to be because I once upon a time I had a foundation that I was working with someone on. Of course, for me, that is being redone, reworked, realigned. I'm redoing some things with that foundation. However, your girl's birthday is coming up, and I want to. I will be in my area, and I'll be passing out meals to the homeless, as well as I'll be working on trying to or giving a donation to a single mom. So, if anybody wants to help contribute to me with all the feeding that I plan to do, as well as the donation to the single mom, y'all can always cash out me $ Tika Deshawn 74, or just hit me up. And if there's something you want to mail to donate, I can do that as well. And it doesn't always have to be monetary. So whatever you guys decide to do, I will definitely, absolutely appreciate it all. So let's rock out in these comments. Let's see who we got. Yes, Aries gang. That's right. That's right. Aries gang for sure. Candy, aren't you an Aries too, right? Is it you that's the Aries? Well, we're gonna rock this thing out one way or another. So anyway, y'all, with that being said, shout out to everybody for tapping in and tuning in tonight. Thank you, Miss Daria. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, EJ. Thank you, Candy loves to talk TV. Again, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe. Y'all subscribe to all my people. Candy loves to talk. VKJ TV, EJ the TV junkie. They do this thing a whole lot better than me, but I appreciate them for putting up with me no matter what. So yes, Aries squad, we are in the building. Okay, 4-7, let's go. And thank you, Aries gang. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, y'all, that's about it. Thank y'all once again for tapping in and tuning in with your girl Tika Deshawn right here at All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. If you're new to my channel, finding your girl for the first time, please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. And one last thing, y'all, one last thing before I go. I have a new channel. It is entitled Tika's Wind Down, where we basically talking about grief and how we get through grief, grieving, I should say. Grieving, whether it's the loss of a family member, and whether it's the loss of a relationship. These are the conversations that we're gonna have, and yes, it's gonna include on the occasion wine, i.e. wind down, just telling us, giving us, helping us all get through and make our way through these moments where we're grieving and we don't know how to handle it. So me as a human being, I can give you guys tips as to how I wind down while going through grief. Okay. So anyway, I'm out of this thing for real. Thank you so much for tapping in and tuning in. And you already know, stay ruthless.